right, Chad Vader, everybody, come on!
News. Ready for you guys?
Chad, it's not all about you.
Oh, yes,
It is about me. It's always about me.
Well, okay, here's the thing. We talked about the Academy theme because we know that you have 3 stories that are even better. We wanted to hit the Academy.
I do.
You do. Let's hear the first one.
Well, before I get to the news, I just want to say that there's a new episode of Chad Vader, Day Shift Manager, that just came out today.
Woo! Woo!
That's right. It's exciting. There's a duel to the death in it. So, that's a plug for my thing, and now I'll get to the news.
Duel to the death.
About Battle
News item
Royale.
number 1. Zack Snyder will direct the upcoming Superman reboot, not Darren Aronofsky, as this reporter erroneously reported last week. I got some bad intel, man. Snyder, as everyone knows, has directed big-budget comic book adaptations in the past, such as 300 and Watchmen, so this might be a good fit for him. However, his most recent film, The Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Gayhole, I think it's pronounced Gayhole. Anyway, that movie flopped, so this whole Superman reboot might turn out to be a big turd like the last one. I tried to reach Zack Snyder for comment. Quietly, I approached his big house, my tape recorder in hand, ready to get an exclusive interview. Suddenly, I tripped an alarm and was attacked by his flock of trained owls. They swooped down on me. They tried to get inside my helmet and my suit. I barely escaped with my life.
Wow. It's a pretty typical Tuesday in the life of Chad Vader. That's the way I look at it. Okay,
Right.
so here's the thing. Wade, I'm
horrible.
very disappointed in Warner Brothers, who has been smarter than that through the whole superhero run.
They had a
and
handful.
Christopher Nolan.
They had a handful of people that were on the short list allegedly, and there were 2 on there. I think we talked about this that just didn't belong there, and that was Zack Snyder and Tony Scott. Horrible, awful choices. Matt Reeves would have been a great choice. Duncan Jones would have been a great choice. Aronofsky would have been a really interesting choice. Any of those 3, I would have been happy with. The other 2, not. And of the other 2, the one I would have been least happy with is Zack Snyder. They went with the worst. Why? I don't know. And I don't think Christopher Nolan has as much say in all of this as everyone is pretending that he does.
Well, the thing is that it's all about the script. You know, the script is a David Goyer script.
Yeah.
He's kind of hit and miss. You know, people tell stories about how much he really contributed to the Batman films.
Yes, and Goyer works well with others, not necessarily on his own. Now, I really liked Blade Trinity a lot, and I like Goyer when he's in a groove, but, you know, it's kind of hit and miss, like you said. The thing with this is that Zack Snyder has, frankly, never really made a good film. I mean, if you want to credit him with, you know, improving on what George Romero did, all he really did was imitate what George Romero did. Okay, there's nothing original there. 300 is a crap film, Watchmen is a crap film, and The Owls of Gayhole is a horrible film. So, I mean, he really is all style over substance, and I just don't know. I don't see what he's going to bring to this.
That's the thing. I'm very surprised that Warner Brothers would give it to a guy who is all effects. All he cares about is the effects. You know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen about 16 times in the Superman film? What will happen is the villain will come up to Superman, right? And he'll take his fist, and there'll be like this fast motion effect, and the fist will go into Superman's face, and then Superman
it'll stop. Yeah.
And then Superman will recoil in slow motion and speed up.
Yeah.
Because that's what Zack Snyder does. That's his move. That's what he does.
Yeah, people were very opposed to this. We never had more comments on a Facebook post. We post this on Facebook. Go to our Facebook page, and you can comment on things and talk to the guys who comment back. And I think Dean Mason said it best. It was very close to what you said. Huge amounts of blood spraying all over the screen, slow motion. Some point, Superman is going to bang the S out of Lois Lane, also in slow motion. And oh, by the way, the whole thing will be retrofitted for 3D. Giddily clapping, ooh, I can't wait. Which is pretty much sums it up. Everybody says the same thing.
Terrible.
As soon as they saw that Zack Snyder was going to direct this.
That is true. Now, by the way,
move.
all I care about now is whether we're boring Chad Vader. 'Cause
Chad.
every once in a while, I got to look in the monitor to see if Chad's falling asleep. He always winds up falling asleep.
I'm okay.
Okay, good.
I'm here.
All right, all right, he's hanging in there. All right, so what's the second story?
In New Zealand, the set of The Hobbit has burned to the ground. Reports say it took 50 firefighters nearly 3 hours to quell the blaze. Hopefully, this will not be too much of a setback for the already troubled production. Some say that this might be a case of arson since there have been conflicts with actors' unions, but I believe this fire was caused by none other than Sauron, the Dark Lord of Mordor. I believe the forces of Mordor set this blaze. The orcs and the Nazgul and Sauron and Mordor. Sorry guys, that's probably not true, but I just like saying Mordor. Come on, say it with me. Mordor.
Mordor. You know,
Come on, Wade.
do it,
Not
Wade.
going there. No.
Oh, come
It's
on.
all right.
But don't you?
Wade.
Okay, Mordor.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, he put his heart into that. But don't you find it a weird crossing of the streams when like Chad Vader talks about Lord of the Rings? It's a very strange crossing of the streams.
It feels like something would happen at a convention.
That is true.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Believe me, it did.
All right, look, I don't know what's happening down there in Australia, but you know what? I don't really care because the movie's going to cost $500 million for the 3 films.
And you know what? When they say the set, this isn't like a sitcom. There are probably 370 sets. The one that burned down was maybe like a tree. They're going to shoot 2 scenes there. I don't know. I find it very hard to get really riled up about. But you know, and also the stuff with the actors union down there was, I think that's a bit of a publicity stunt as well. So. Yeah, the thing that's sort of more interesting to me is that Peter Jackson's taken over again, and with some minor enthusiasm, I guess.
I would imagine that if you want to keep the fanboys happy,
Yeah.
and you want to give it to one of the only people on the planet, there's maybe 2 people in the world who have that kind of experience
Yeah.
making that kind of a movie, you got to give it to Peter Jackson, and you know that guy is literally they're going to hand him Australia.
But
that's how much they're going to pay him to do that film.
Didn't we really want to see what Del Toro did?
New Zealand. New Zealand.
Didn't we all really?
By the way, they could hand him Australia anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, joke works.
But didn't we?
Is that a
Didn't
Superman 2 reference?
no.
Oh,
No,
Gene Hackman wanted to buy
not-
Australia.
It's not that deep. But didn't we all want to see Del Toro do this? I mean, didn't we really want to see Del Toro, see him like kind of bring something different? Now it's going to feel like, oh great, you know, Peter Jackson's doing Lord of the Rings again.
More Lord of the Rings.
I spent a decade watching him do that, and now here we start all over again. It's like Del Toro would have brought something different and new and fresh, and I wanted to see that. So I kind of feel gypped.
Chad, are you bored? Where is he?
There he is.
Oh, I'm good.
Good.
I'm listening.
What else do we have, Chad?
Director John McTiernan just got the green light on a new project, A Year in Prison. He's been convicted of lying in the Anthony Pellicano wiretapping and racketeering case, where McTiernan got Pellicano to tap the phone of producer Chuck Roven during production of 2002's Rollerball. I tried to reach McTiernan for comment, and had about as much luck as I had with Zack Snyder. Couldn't get a hold of him. So I called my friend Tony, and he's going to put this hidden device on John McTiernan's phone so I can listen to his calls. It's like a tape recorder, I guess, for calls. I'm sure I'll get lots of juicy quotes since he won't even know that I'm listening. Very excited. Don't tell anybody, though. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Forget I said anything.
Yeah. Does it bother anybody that all of this is about Rollerball? I mean, seriously, if you're going to go through all this trouble and go to jail and get sued 16 times and waste all the state's money, whatever it is, make it a good movie.
Yeah.
This is all over Rollerball.
I know.
It's like the biggest piece of crap in the world.
Well, Chuck Roven, of course, who produced the Batman films, is a major producer. Rollerball is probably the least interesting film on his resume. And for John McTiernan, I mean, you know, Die Hard. Come on.
You know, I mean, these are relatively major players. Yeah. Not anymore.
McTiernan will be out in like 6 months or 3 months, and he'll get his career on track again.
So what does he do?
I guarantee you this will help him get his career up and running.
You think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, because the thing is that, look, you know, when you make a film, the actors and all the major players, they have to be insured.
Yeah.
So if it was something like maybe drugs or something where they felt like he was sort of uninsurable, then maybe, you know, they were afraid he would, you know, shoot up and not make it to set, and it would cost a bunch of money. It's just some guy that wiretapped someone.
He's just
I'm doing it now at Wade's house, wiretapping. Who cares? What?
No, he's perfectly functional. He can still direct movies. He's done some very, very good films. I mean, he directed the original Predator as well.
Which is a good movie.
Which is a very good movie.
You know what? McTiernan, a good action director.
Yeah.
A very bad wiretapper, but a good action director.
Absolutely.
All right, Chad, is that it? Anything else?
My final thought on McTiernan. If they really want to punish him, they won't send him to jail. They'll send him to Mordor.
Chad Vader, everybody!
All right, thank you.